Hey everyone, Sergio with the Rideshare Guy. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Wheel. Today I'm joined by Gary from Los Angeles. He's actually a driver in the Inland Empire, but Los Angeles I think would fit him well. Gary, welcome to Behind the Wheel. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Gary Hidalgo from the Inland Empire, Los Angeles area, driving for Uber and Lyft. And I have a letter I'd like to address to our gig workers.
Yeah, we will get into that in a minute, but how long have you been driving for Uber and Lyft, and what did you do before? So tell us a little bit more details about you.
So I've been a manager for Honda actually for almost 10 years. And during that point, my dad and my son got hurt in the war. My dad broke his back, and then I started doing gig working to make extra money to help support my family and honor them.
Okay.
So during that process, I started.
Okay. Are you a full-time driver? Are you part-time? How many hours a week do you drive? And how long have you been driving?
I've been driving for almost 10 years now. I drive roughly Thursday through Sunday, and I drive roughly about 60 to 80 hours at times.
Okay. So you've seen the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Just to a little bit of context of what we're doing here today. I do speak to, thousands of drivers and then get thousands of emails. And once in a while, I'll get an email that hits home, and Gary's happened to be one of those. And more importantly, it was such a well documented or written email that I felt compelled to put him on behind the wheel. So, um, and I'm going to have him read. He wrote a letter, open letter to Uber, and why he's actually about to quit doing gig work or rideshare specifically. And I thought we share that with you, and I think it'll resonate with a lot of you who are experiencing similar things. Without further ado, I'm going to have him start reading his letter.
All right. My name is Gary Hidalgo. So my letter is basically a subject to open letter to gig worker communities, addressing concerns with our Uber practices and Lyft practices. So here it goes. So dear fellow gig workers, I'm writing to share my personal experience and growing concerns regarding Uber's treatment of drivers and delivery workers, issuing that issues that have escalated to the point where they're negatively affecting my safety, livelihood, trust in the platform. After repeated attempts to resolve these concerns through Uber support and Lyft, I feel compelled to speak out and warn others about this alarming problems that are worsening within the company.
Okay.
Manipulation of ride requests. One of the most one of the most frustrating issues I've encountered is Uber's manipulation of ride requests. I frequently receive ride offers that initially seem promising, profitable rides that look worthwhile. However, as soon as I try to accept them, the ride offer grays out or is in canceling by the system. This happens repeatedly, sometimes more than 10 times a day. After being denied the higher pay rides, the system then offers me the low paying rides, typically under $4 that I'm expected to accept. This feels like they're deliberately tactics to entice drivers with false opportunities while pushing us to accept low value tips. I reported these issues multiple times, especially after noticing this concerning patterns. This is not only frustrating, but it feels like discriminatory and exploitative practices designed to benefit under Uber at the expense of drivers. Uber's failure to address serious concerns. I've raised these issues with Uber support on several occasions, but each time I've met with vague responses or no tangible solutions. Despite following all suggested troubleshooting steps and being a tech savvy user myself, the problem persists. Moreover, when I reported these serious safety concerns regarding the delivery of illegal substances, including a 1 pound package of cocaine, why unknowingly delivered and later handed over to the LAPD, Uber took no action. Their failure to address such a grave situation left me exposed to risk and jeopardized my personal safety. The fact that the Uber neglected to act upon my report shows concern and lack of accountability and regarding for the well-being of drivers. A platform that is no longer sustainable. It has been clear to me that Uber's current business model is no longer sustainable for drivers. Despite putting over 26,000 miles on my vehicle, that fares keep decreasing, with the app is plagued with technical issues that prevent me from performing my job effectively. It seems as though Uber is intentionally undermining our ability to earn a decent living as a result of this platform, actively harming the market and exploiting drivers, offering less pay for more work. It's become increasingly difficult to justify spending my time and energy on this platform that no longer fulfills its promise to provide a fair compensation. My breaking point as a dislocated worker, I wanted to be transparent to my fellow drivers. If this issue can continue with proper resolution, I have no choice but to reconsider my position as a gig worker. I entered this line of work in search of flexibility, independence, fair compensation. However, I now find myself dislocated without the security of a traditional job, without the support, reliability, a fair treatment I deserve from this platform. I work for it. If Uber does not make immediate steps to address these ongoing issues, whether they are ride cancellations, safety concerns, or the decline in quality of service, I will be forced to review my options. If things don't change, will likely leave this gig economy together. At this point, it's no longer just about frustration. It's about my personal safety, financial well-being, and integrity for the platform. The call for accountability. This letter is not just an expression of my frustration, it's a call to action. These problems are not isolated to me. They are affecting many drivers and delivery workers who rely on Uber making a living. If you're facing similar challenges, I urge you to speak up. The more we voice our concerns, the more likely it's Uber will be forced to confront these systematic problems and take meaningful steps to make changes. We deserve better. We deserve a platform that treats its workers fairly, value the safety, and uphold the integrity of the business. My final thoughts. If these issues continue, I will no longer be a gig worker by the end of the year. I didn't sign up for a system that treats the workers this way. I refuse to risk my safety, time, and livelihood for a company that clearly has no regard for well-being of its workers. I'm prepared to leave Uber and explore other opportunities if necessary. Thank you for reading, and I hope this letter serves you as a reminder that the gig workers hold the power to demand better treatment, ensure our voices are heard, stay safe, and let's stand together and ensure that Uber and other platforms are held accountable the way they treat their workers. Thank you, Gary Hidalgo.
Well done, Gary. Now, how much of this do you believe that Uber will change?
I don't think they will. From what I've seen, and I've actually been, when there was a situation and I started to be a delivery driver, part of the platform, my first 4 packages was illegal substances, and it literally took me 45 minutes to an hour to resolve each issue, and I only got paid $15 for the first incident, and the other issues, it was never resolved.
Right?
I had to go to the LAPD station at a late middle of LA, and 4 LAPD stations were closed. I was not going to carry a pound of coke for illegal substances that I shouldn't be carrying, because I'd be probably get caught for transporting.
Okay. You said at the end of your letter that you will be looking into alternative line of work or go back to what you used to before, right? So you said you may be quitting by the end of the year. Where we're at the end of the year. What's happening?
I actually have 2 job interviews tomorrow, and I will be going back into management and leaving the gig working industry. It
Okay.
was profitable at one point, and now I would say no,
Okay.
and I couldn't
And so
recommend it
you're
to you.
So
as well.
Uber and Lyft are going to lose a veteran driver, right? With a lot of experience and serving their clients better. But I'm curious. I mean, you're going to go back to regular W-2, I guess, but are you going to still continue as a side hustle, doing some gig work?
Maybe I'd have to really think about it because only maybe during certain holidays or when it's peak season. Beyond that, I day to day work is not feasible for me at this point.
Okay.
I tried to
Um,
work yesterday. I only made
yeah. In Inland Empire rates are actually worse than possibly, if anybody can believe that, Los Angeles rates. But yeah, it's I mean, this is what's happening. Uber Lyft. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're going to watch this, and a lot of veteran drivers with clean cars, good records, have been abused enough that they're just saying, calling it quits. And Gary's replacement, I'm pretty sure, is not going to be anywhere near what he offers to Uber and Lyft riders. And who loses, right? Everybody loses in this. The rider loses. Uber and Lyft lose a good driver. And I mean, Gary, I'm sure he enjoyed it because he did it for 10 years. If he didn't, he would have quit before. So all this anyway. So Gary, I'll give you the floor. We'll have a couple of minutes remaining. And I mean, your letter pretty much says what it says. But why do you think millions of people are still doing rideshare?
well, part of it is that they think it's lucrative at first, and then once they get in reality, they find that you're actually losing your time, your value. Um, Even delivery, I actually told Uber take me off that complete platform because I'm not the only one that's experienced the illegal drug experience. I've had several others, and they've actually had to report it as well, and they've lost time as well. Because it takes 35, 40 minutes just to make your police report, and then several other factors that you lose money while you're trying to do the right thing. I'm a 5-star across the board, um, you know, as a driver for both Uber and Lyft, and I've actually had to start cherry picking rides lately. I just can't accept rides that are under $4 or $5, and then it takes you 20 minutes to get somewhere, and for $6, $7, that's that's preposterous.
Yeah.
I just shared recently. I was in Camarillo, and Uber. First time I ever seen it is that they were giving me rides that had no pricing, but just said 26 minutes or 32 minutes, and you didn't even know what you're getting paid for. I think that's illegal.
Well, no, it's
You know.
not. But what it is that in Ventura County, believe it or not, they don't have upfront fares for one reason or another. I don't know why. And they have the 5 out of 10, restriction on drivers. If you accept last 5 out of 10, then you get to see the destination of the rider. I don't know why they're doing that in Ventura County. But um, you know, I- how many trips do you say you have? Did you say you have between the both platforms?
Oh, I'm both actually Lyft and Uber. I have over 2,600 on one and 3,200 on Lyft.
Oh, okay, so being a 10-year driver, you didn't drive that much. I mean, you drove, but I guess maybe, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't. Sorry, I was. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
Lyft 1,600.
I'm gonna give you the floor for the last, couple of minutes and give our audience some advice. We always finish with some advice, and you're about to go into a couple of interviews and go back to the regular workforce. You know, anything that comes off your whatever you want to say, floor is yours.
So part of it as a Lyft driver and gig worker is that if you're going to a direction, let it pay your way. I mean, unfortunately, when I have to go to West LA, I point it to that direction and see if I can get X amount of rides. That's one way to be able to make money, but you have to do it as a business. And this is not for fun. I mean, your time and expense is far worth more time, but unfortunately, some of these rides, the way they're going, less than $3, even 276 is the lowest I've seen lately for a 20-minute ride. That is, I can't believe it. We're seeing that. Unfortunately, for people that take it seriously as a profession, it's not feasible no more. I mean, I can't believe, I was making it at the highest point, almost $1,400 for 3 days. I mean, and I worked 12-hour days because I was doing this for a purpose. I was not doing it just for social, but fortunately, I take it seriously because I was managing a Honda store at one point, and unfortunately got laid off when I was caring for my dad. So that's the reason they started doing this. I was honoring them, and fortunately, my employer laid me off on an FMLA. So that's the reason I became a gig worker. So we all do this for many reasons. I thought it was going to be prosperous and great, but unfortunately, at the end, January 1st, I believe I'm just going to stop riding, and then if I need to do it, I will do it when I need to. But I'm a 5-star on Lyft and a 4.7 or 4.97 on Uber. So you can't beat that. I mean, I take it truly professional to do this, and I don't see they're getting so many drivers, and once they see that they're not making it, you know, they have to go find other work, and that's what I'm gonna do. I need to be able to find something that's gonna provide for my family. Unfortunately, this platform is no longer doing that. So I truly appreciate the Rideshare guys and letting me speak.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And what we're gonna do, folks, is I'm going to attach his full letter because the audio may not be clear enough. I'm going to attach his full letter into video notes so you all can read it at your leisure. But Gary, I appreciate you coming on and doing this. We try to get the voices of drivers out as much as we can, obviously. And, it's a tough battle. I fully understand where the drivers are coming from because I am a driver, right? I've been driving for 8 years and I've seen the rates collapse, really. I don't think this could be done as a career or a full-time gig any longer. I think it's best as a side hustle. And but again, thank you for doing it. I'll see you on the road. If you ever decide to drive again, please be safe.
Thanks. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you and the Rideshare Guy family.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for watching this episode of Behind the Wheel on the Rideshare Guy. We've been doing these interviews for the past 6 months with very successful drivers from different cities around the nation. Click here for another episode. Make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications for other episodes of Behind the Wheel as well as amazing content on our channel.